You want to submit your research paper in time and you want to pass. You want to score a distinction, an A in your research paper. This is the YouTube channel you should watch every day. You are going to submit your research paper in time, you will graduate in time, and you are going to score a good grade when it comes to research paper writing. Today, I will be talking about choosing a good research topic. I thought that from my personal experience, I can get a good research topic. When I was writing my master thesis, I thought that I can just look around and from my personal experience, I get a research topic. How do you choose a good research topic? A topic that you will not change, you will not modify. Your supervisor will not tell you at some point, change the topic, modify the topic. Because when you are told to change the topic or modify the topic, most of the time you are going to start all over again. And it is frustrating because you are going to repeat everything and you have invested a lot of time, a lot of resources. I tell you, it is frustrating. It is good for you to choose a good research topic. So today I will be talking about how can you choose a good research topic. Where is the source, the key source, where you can choose your research topic and you never go wrong. Where can you get that research topic that you will start writing and you will not change and you will not modify? How do you get a good research topic? I told you that you can have an interesting topic, a topic that we can see, even as we can see that obvious this problem that you want to solve in your community, this problem, someone must come up and solve this problem. But we are going to discourage you and tell you that this is not a good research topic because of this and this. So as a student, you are writing your research paper. It's good for you to know where to get a good research topic, the source where you should get your, this is the main source. This is the main source. What I'm about to tell you is the main source where you are supposed to get a research topic. You will get a good one. You are not going to modify. You are not going to change along the way, because I know if you are told to modify or change, you are going to change everything and you are going to start square one. Today, I will tell you this main source where you are supposed to get your research topic, and you will get a good one, and you will be able to write your thesis, your research paper from the beginning up to the end without modifying the topic and without changing the topic. Are we together? By the end of this video, you are going to know where to get a good research topic. I know you are like me. For me, when I started writing my master thesis, I thought that I can get a good research topic from my own experience. I thought I can get a good research topic from my own personal experience, but there is a way you can verify whether this personal experience that you have, can it make a good research topic? Obvious, your personal experience is a starting point. Your personal experience is a starting point. I'm not telling you that you don't look at your personal experience. That's where you generate ideas. That's where you generate ideas. It's good to have personal experience. Look at your personal experience, what is happening around you. It's good. You can generate ideas, the topics that you want to study. You can just get from your personal experience. But before you start to write that research paper, verify whether this personal experience can make a good research topic. And I'm going to give you the key source, the main source where you are supposed to get that research topic. Okay? Are we together? Listen to this video. Please note down somewhere. Let this key source be the one that will be guiding you when it comes to looking for a research topic. This key source I'm going to give you, this main source that I'm going to give you, let it guide you. You will never go wrong. The one thing I want you to prevent is you are told to change the topic, to modify the topic by your supervisor along the way. Please, prevention is better than cure. I want you, when you start writing your research paper, you are not going to modify or change the topic. Are we together? Where do you get a good research topic? Where do you get a good research topic? A good research topic is gotten from where? You read journals, you review journals, all those journal articles. You already have the ideas, you have generated ideas from your personal experience. Just check whether your personal experience resonates with the journals, with the literature review. Look at your journals, the journals you want to read, and your personal experience. You want to talk about education. Just look for journals about education. Look for journals about education. And I'm going to tell you the section. There is a section that you are supposed to be very keen. This is where you are going to get a good research topic. That section, when you are writing your research, there is chapter 1 up to chapter 6. There is that chapter that you are supposed to be very keen, because it is going to give you ideas on a good research topic. This is the starting point. If you don't have a good research topic, you have already messed up from the beginning. You are going to change the topic. You are going to be delayed when it comes to graduation. So what I'm telling you is that you need to read journals, read articles. At a minimum, read 30 articles before you come up with the research topic. Read 30. I know you can read even 5 journals every day. You can analyze 5 journals every day. Read 30 journals before you come up with a research topic. Which section do you get that research topic? Which section? There is a section in the journals you are going to read. There is a section called Recommendation for Future Research. I told you, those journals, those research papers that you are going to read, we have 6 sections. We have 6 chapters. You can call them section or chapters. But there is one chapter or section that you should be very keen about. This is the chapter that you are going to get. What are you saying? What are we saying? This chapter, you are going to get what? You are going to get what? You will get the research topic. And this section, it's called Recommendation for Future Research. It is always at the end of the research, at the end of the research paper, at the end of the article. There is recommendation for future research. Something that they recommend you, this is what you are supposed to improve on. This is the key source, the main source, where you can get a good research topic. You can only get a good research topic if you review the journal articles. Note down recommendation for future research. Note down somewhere. There is a section called Recommendation for Future Research. Note down somewhere. Review every journal article and look at that section, Recommendation for Future Research. And make sure what the researcher has suggested that you should investigate further has not been investigated by someone else. Another thing, you have to review recent journal articles. Underline the word recent. You have to review recent journal articles. Don't look for journals maybe 1825. and we are into right now we are in 2026. Look for recent journals that talk about the idea, the topic that you think that you want to study. Make sure the journal articles that you are going to review are recent. Underline the word recent. Note down recommendation for future research. It is a section in the journal articles, in the research papers, that suggests what you should investigate further. It suggests the areas that has not been tackled by the researcher due to lack of data, due to some limitation. Obvious, research has limitations. Make sure you review that the journal articles that are recent, and note down the recommendation for future research. Most journal articles, most research paper has that section of recommendation for future research. This is where maybe your research has this limitation. You want someone to come and improve on something. Because when it comes to research, you have to solve a problem, a unique one. You don't duplicate. You don't solve a problem that has already been solved. You have to bring new knowledge. You have to tell us this is the gap. And where do you get the research gap? Is that section of recommendation for future research. Review journal articles. That is the only way that you can get a good research topic. And along the way, you will not struggle. You will not be told by your supervisor to change the topic or modify the topic, because you have already done your work. You have reviewed the article. You have found a gap. You have come up with a good research topic. When you have a good research topic, you will never struggle. You are going to finish writing your thesis in time.